devices were destroyed. The Air Force also strafed and killed many of the fleeing terrorists. When I mean that they were strafed, that's precisely what it means. And all these are what you see on the screen. Now, on the second front, the troops advanced and cleared all the Boko Haram terrorist camps on their axis before harboring at Amdaga on the first day. At Amdaga, the Boko Haram terrorists, of course, also, attempted a probing attack, hopefully with intent to delay our troops, which, of course, was also swiftly dealt with before the Boko Haram retreated. Now, the following day, the troops cleared and occupied Dure, and ever since they have been there, carrying out further offensive operations to intercept those who are fleeing from the heart of Sambisa forest. Now, on the third axis, the troops moved from Bita through Sasawa, that you can also see from the screen. And thereafter, they occupied blocking positions, along the river line of the airship. Now, when you hear airship, it's actually the river line because of the contour of the river. That's why it's called airship. So the special forces, of course, continued the operation with the offensive and harbored somewhere beyond the airship river line. However, our troops on that axis stepped on improvised explosive devices, which was laid by the Boko Haram terrorists, and it was followed on by a Boko Haram terrorist attack. And the attack, of course, was repaired with many of the Boko Haram terrorists killed, but unfortunately we lost a soldier and 9 others were wounded from the improvised explosive device attack incident. The 9 soldiers were also airlifted from Bita, and they are currently receiving treatment in our hospitals. Now, on the fourth front, on the 30th of November, the troops cleared Boko Haram terrorists at Jefe and Demia, of course, as you also could see from the screen, and of course, Turori villages, and subsequently harbored at Kazalamari village. Now, the advance continued the following day with our troops clearing all the Boko Haram terrorists at the Sambisa first gate. Now, in Sambisa forest, they have named it first gate, second gate, and the third gate. Now, on that day, of course, our troops cleared the terrorists from the first gate, and that was at about 10:55 hours in the morning. During the advance, again, our troops, stepped on improvised explosive devices, which, of course, saw is an officer wounded. But before then, of course, 19 of the Boko Haram terrorists were killed. We recovered 4 AK-47 rifles and 8 magazines, including other weapons of the Boko Haram terrorists. And the soldier and 2 civilian JTF who sustained injury as a result of the IED incident also were lifted, and they are currently in the hospital receiving medical attention. Now, I will return to part of the rescue finale in due course. But let me also say that, the last time we met, I told you that there were some operations which we call subsidiary operations allied to Operation Rescue Finale. And in that regard, on the 28th of November, own troops conducted a clearance operation into Dogonchiku general area. Dogonchiku is in the north, and during the operation, the encounter with the insurgents, 1 Boko Haram terrorist was killed, and 1, of course, was wounded. The one that was wounded, you could see, we captured him alive. If you see him, you think that he's a soldier. He's not a soldier. Rather, he's Boko Haram terrorist wearing our uniform. And so what we've done is to treat him, and whilst he's receiving treatment, he's also giving us useful information that has been helping in the operation. On the 1st of December, at about 1300 hours, own troops, whilst conducting operation in Daban Giwa and Daban Masara, Grati, and other adjoining villages, encountered the Boko Haram terrorists around Grati general area. Now, a firefight ensued, and of course, the Boko Haram fled into the creeks. Daban Masara is just at the edge of the Lake Chad in the north. For those of you who are familiar with the terrain of Borno State, that is the picture of the troops, and of course, eventually, The Boko Haram terrorists, who of course had horses, who were about mounting their horses to run away, and in course of the exchange of fire, the 32 horses which they had were all killed. Of course, in the crossfire. An officer in that encounter was wounded and is actually receiving treatment. From the fragments of fragments of the shots that ensued during the firefight, the officer had that wound. Now, arrest of fleeing Boko Haram terrorists. Now, as a result of the operations and the tenacity of our troops, the Boko Haram terrorists, a good number of them have been fleeing the epicenter or the core of where we have conducted this operation. And I intend that in the subsequent paragraphs to give you snapshots of some of those encounters and those who have arrested, who have attempted to flee from the hotness of our troops. On the 28th, at about 15:55 hours, troops in conjunction with Vigilante on Reki and fighting patrol to Kadari, Yaramti, and Madam Nari villages intercepted and apprehended 13 Boko Haram terrorists as well as Boko Haram terrorist sympathizers, as you could see on the screen, along with 51 of their family members. Also on 29th, troops deployed at Bunigeri in conjunction with the vigilantes apprehended 14. Bunigeri, you know that is in Yobe State. We have troops there, and so because they are fleeing, they thought that they could take that as this, and 14 of them, of the escapees that were made up of 3 men, 3 women, as well as 8 children, were also intercepted. One of the men was found to be involved in rearing livestock for the Boko Haram terrorists, and of course is in our custody. Similarly, on the same day, at about 13:20 hours, a Boko Haram terrorist suspect named Saidu, I will not give you the surname, was arrested at Helma Jibiru village in Biu local government area of Borno State. The suspect was arrested with provisions, drugs, which are mostly analgesics and sedatives, with 31 wraps of weed that are suspected to be cannabis. And the suspect, of course, is in our custody undergoing interrogation. Those are some of what we got from him. We're hoping to go to feed them. And of course, this gives you also an indication as to what the state of the Boko Haram terrorists is right in Sambisa forest. On the 1st of December, at about 01:30 hours, that is 1:45 in the morning, own troops in conjunction with civilian JTF arrested 2 Boko Haram terrorist suspects. The suspects were arrested while trying to move some items into the bush for the Boko Haram terrorists. Items recovered include 5 packets of tramol, 4 new wrappers, 14, of course, wrappers, hoping that to make their wives happy. So even criminals also attempt to make women happy. 14 pairs of slippers, a word receiver radio. They also want to listen to us, and I hope that this will be transmitted live for them to know that their days are numbered. Let them use that radio to listen. 5 packets of Maggi, 7 rolls of clean detergent, a packet of 1.5 volt battery, 2 packets of machetes, 2 sets of children wears, a bicycle tube, and a whole lot of other items that you could see. On the 3rd of December, at about 1100 hours, own troops in conjunction with local vigilantes, while on fighting patrol along Kafa Gonori Road, arrested 7 confirmed Boko Haram terrorist members. The arrested Boko Haram terrorists pretended to be IDPs, you see. Because of the pressure, the heat on them, they cannot disguise and want to also act like as if they are IDPs. And of course, that did not escape the eagle eyes and vigilance of our troops and the civilian JTF. So currently, they are with us, and they were also arrested with 50 women and children. They are currently in custody and providing useful information that has been aiding our operations. Now, likewise, on the 4th of December, at about 13:45 hours, own troops in conjunction with local vigilantes intercepted 5 men and 29 women and children heading towards Gonori from Kafa. The men were screened by the local vigilante